In the last decade, an incredibly specific vocabulary has surged through altered state reports and digital forums. Terms like firmament, matrix, and the cosmic egg are appearing with high frequency in modern descriptions of reality. This is a collective reaching for a new language. The mechanistic metaphors of the last century have become too thin to carry the weight of lived experience, prompting a return to older, more robust structural symbols. This cultural shift mirrors a crisis of confidence in modern physics, as new 3D maps of the early universe reveal unexpected behaviors in dark energy. The public story of a settled cosmological model is undergoing constant, visible revision. The standard model describes a random, expanding, and lifeless machine. Yet the observer problem persists, the mathematical reality that consciousness is required to finalize the state of any physical system. When the dominant scientific metaphor fails to account for the presence of the witness, the culture corrects itself. Ancient maps inevitably resurface to provide the orientation that the dead machine model cannot. The cosmic egg functions as a symbolic map, a set of instructions for how a world is rendered for an observer. Modern physics employs a holographic boundary where all information to generate space exists along its perimeter, mirroring ancient celestial shells. To decode this streaming data, the system requires a 0 point. The mythic axis mundi provides this central vertical pole for observer navigation. Sacred texts and sky manuals act as highly compressed data formats. They preserve the structural rules of this conscious architecture without needing modern technical vocabulary. The current cultural remembrance represents a collective effort to retranslate a cosmic dashboard we forgot how to read. The Beyond the Shell model identifies the engine of this dashboard as an enclosed electromagnetic torus field. At the center of this wireframe sits a vertical energy pillar, the primary engine generating the world. Energy flows outward from the central axis toward the cosmic perimeter to establish the environment's limits, then loops back to the center, maintaining a continuous circuit. This orientation rule explains why legends describe a central mountain or magnetic pole. It is the functional center required to maintain a coherent reality, rather than a literal landmark. The universe functions as a continuous cycle of rendering. It requires this stable, looping center to keep the horizon in place for the observer. Global mythologies consistently describe a universe of nested spheres and celestial shells. Modern skepticism often interprets an enclosed cosmology as a prison or a matrix. This fear-based reading assumes that any boundary is a hostile limit designed to trap humanity. Interface theory offers a different reading. These shells act as information boundaries that prevent sensory overload. They filter the infinite signal of the larger system into a bandwidth the human observer can actually process. These boundaries function as rendered horizons. They provide the necessary stability for a localized observer to exist on a manageable stage. If the universe is structured by informational membranes, a mechanical question arises. How does an observer interact with these thresholds? The cosmic gatehouse functions through a biological interface, the human nervous system. The nervous system acts as a frequency regulator. It steps down overwhelming universal data into the localized perception we call the world. This reveals the role of ancient gatekeepers and mythological gods. These are symbolic celestial job titles, defining the specific frequency thresholds an observer must master to move between layers of the shell. The biological body provides the specific frequency authorization required to open these doors. Without a localized observer, the gatehouse remains inactive. Identifying the center of the world as an interface shifts the purpose of the observer. This reorientation resolves the calibration crisis by recognizing consciousness as the primary factor that collapses the cosmic signal into a world. Within this model, the cosmic egg reveals its true nature. It is a developmental incubator. This structure provides a protected staging ground. It is designed to allow consciousness to grow and mature within a stable, filtered environment. The universe functions as a memory system. Within this framework, the true test involves developing the maturity required to safely cross the outer threshold.